What is up, NFC East football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC East Roundtable powered by BetUS. Week 6 is in the books. We turn the page to Week 7. We only have 2 games to talk about tonight. In terms of Week 7, the Cowboys are on the bye. We have an interdivisional matchup, and we look to see if Rio's Commanders can get back on track after their second loss of the season. So without further ado, let's bring in the fellas, KB, J Tuck, Al, and Rio. Boys, it's going to be a light one tonight. Not much action in the NFC East this weekend, but when I say not much action, not only are there only 2 games, but Rio, I think we all are going to be in agreement on what the Commanders might do to these Panthers coming up this weekend. But we do have an interdivisional matchup, so I'm looking forward to that. But let's start with that matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Commanders. Let's head over to BetUS, and as you would probably predict, it's exactly what you thought the spread would be. Right now, the Washington Commanders, 9-point home favorite over the Panthers. That is the second largest spread of the weekend, only trailing the Bills versus the Tennessee Titans. So as you can see, the Commanders are expected to lay the hammer down on the Carolina Panthers. If you want to lay the bet down on the Commanders, you can do so using the promo code YouTube150 on BetUS. That'll get you a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits after that. All the lines are currently up for Week 7 on BetUS, including this one. So with that said, fellas, the Commanders 9-point favorite at home against the Panthers, coming off their second loss of the year. KB, is this one going to be as easy as advertised, or the Panthers playing spoiler this upcoming weekend?
I'm praying this is going to be a trap game of some sort. I'm praying Andy, if Andy Dalton is still going to be out there, there's like conversations of Bryce Young possibly coming back in the lineup. I hope not. I hope Andy Dalton proves why he should be starting against the Commanders. Real quick question. When was the last time your team has been favored by 9 points?
About 8 years ago.
So times are really changing here in Washington, man. I'm not happy to see it. I'll be honest with you. So now it's going to be the Giants to be the team to beat up on in the NFC East. But listen, hey, it's the it's the Panthers.
Don't speak so fast.
hey, reverse psychology. But it's the Panthers, man. I mean, I can hope in all the world. I can hope that they not only cover the spread but beat the Commanders. But I don't even think they're going to cover the spread, to be honest with you. I mean, it'll be one thing if Carolina's defense was something special and it was just their inadequate offense, and that's just not the case. The whole team from top to bottom is just not good. They've got years to develop, and the Commanders are on the way up, and they're looking at them and just looking at him saying, yeah, we lost the game, and it's not going to look pretty for you guys. We're on a mission with Jaden Daniels, and yeah, the Panthers are the next one in their way. I think the Commanders are going to beat them here. They'll cover the spread. They'll probably beat them by 2 scores or some sort. I mean, they beat the Bengals, for crying out loud, by what was it? What was it? 38? No, the Cardinals. The Cardinals. It was like 42 to freaking 14 or something like that. Yeah, they have the potential to do that again against the Panthers. So I'll say it's something around that range. I'll say like 35 to 20. 35 to 20, and the 20 comes from like garbage time, So
Great mind alike.
Yeah,
my final score is very similar.
Oh, okay.
Very simple.
On the same wavelength there. So yeah, I think this should be a slaughter.
And it's easy to share the same wavelength on that mindset right now, fellas, because outside of the dead cat bounce W the Panthers had with Andy Dalton taking over for Bryce Young, the lone W they have on the year, these Panthers have lost by 37, 23, 10, 26, and 18. They have yet to lose a game by less than double digits. We have 1 W on the year. It has been a slaughter fest for these Panthers throughout the year. So, Jay Tuck, does it continue on Sunday against the Commanders?
Yeah, it continues. And the one thing I love the most is free money. And this is free money, y'all. So go ahead and lock in that -9 on BetUS. So they watch this show and be like, oh, yeah, you are right, Z-Bot. They have lost by double digits. Let's move that to 17 or something like that.
The alt bet, baby, the alt lines. That's what
Yeah.
Get the juice.
Yeah, so, I should have did it versus the Cowboys and Lions last week. But yeah, man, I feel like the Commanders are going to be too much for the Panthers to handle. Of course, I think the Panthers are a scrappy team with Andy Dalton, but the Commanders are way too talented for this team. This is one of the benefits, right, of losing, having a last place schedule, and also reloading the clip, right? So I feel like the Commanders are in a good position to start and get back on track and make their run. So yeah, I would probably say the Commanders win this game at least by over 14 easily versus the Panthers. They're just way too much for this Panthers defense, and offensively they don't know who they are. They're probably Andy Dalton put up a fight, but overall the Commanders will go out there and handle business. Easy win for the Commanders, unfortunately.
Al, you feeling the same way here?
Absolutely. Easy win for the Commanders. Well, like 38-20, something like that. Jaden Daniels is probably going to have some historic day. The running game going to get going again. They defense going to look decent, and it's just going to be one of those days, man. Panthers are going to get destroyed, and Washington is going to look good. So I hate to see it. Hopefully I'm wrong, man.
Right,
and
right.
an upset happen.
Rio, KB kind of alluded to it earlier when he asked you the last time the Commanders have been favored by 9. But the crazy thing about this, these two teams were not that different last year in terms of their struggles, right? The Commanders 4-13, the Panthers the worst team in the league last year. This is a clear representation of how far these Commanders have come. They go from being down in the cellar with the Panthers to a year later now being a 9-point favorite, where everyone here on this panel is in collective agreement that the 9-point spread isn't even enough. So for starters, how good does that feel? Because it's gotta be amazing.
Oh, it feels phenomenal. Last time we had I believe last time we were this high a favorite, Kirk Cousins was the quarterback and Jay Gruden was the coach of my football team.
Oh,
That's how
man.
far we've come. And
Yeah.
you want to see what the major determining factor as to why Carolina is continuing to plummet and we're ascending is we picked the right quarterback. We picked the right quarterback, but most importantly, we didn't have an owner here to make the pick because Frank Reich and them, they wanted Stroud. And the owner wanted Bryce Young. And
That's
look what
crazy.
a meddlesome owner can do to you.
Yep.
You're going to see
Tell me about it.
2 decades plus of nonsense, Carolina Panthers fans. So cheer up and good luck to y'all because Dan Snyder was broke. David Tepper is the second richest owner in the NFL. So he's Dan Snyder with loaded pockets, with connection, power, and reach Snyder never had. So it's going to be a long time of suck for Carolina Panthers fans. But the way I see this one, I saw Jaden Daniels' face on the sideline at the end of the Ravens game. He didn't want to hear nothing about any of these moral victory stuff. He wanted it bad, and he felt like if he got the ball back again, we were going to have a chance. We scored and cut it to 1 touchdown with 4 minutes left. And the only question left was, is Washington going to get a stop? Absolutely not. We're not going to get a stop. Our defense, they take advantage of bad offenses. So this week, we have a bad offense on the schedule. The Panthers have 20 players on the injury report. And it's important. Like Jonathan Brooks, Jadeveon Clowney, Josie Jewell, Deontay Johnson, Taylor Moton, Ashawn Robinson, Ike Aqua, their whole team, they're already ass. And most of their roster is for sale and on the injury report. Great minds think alike in this one because my prediction that I made on my channel last night was 37-20. And it's not worse because our starters aren't going to play in the fourth quarter. We're going to have Jaden Daniels with his number 5 chain on and a t-shirt. They're going to have to feel his wrath, man. They put the picture of Jaden sad on the sideline next to LeBron before the Eastern Conference Finals versus the Celtics years back. He had on a Pooh Shiesty ski mask at practice yesterday. He's going to go crazy on Sunday. This is going to be wrapped up very soon. And Marcus Mariota is going to be out there auditioning for the New York Giants. So 37-20, Washington Commanders, pack them up, and let's get ready for that flexed number 1 versus number 2 overall pick game.
Ooh.
Bring Caleb and the Chicago Bears down to the city next week. We're wearing all black for that one. I don't even care about this. Let's get to the Bears already, man.
Man, Washington's
Yeah,
gone
fun
through
season,
2
though.
name changes since the last time they were this heavily favored, and everybody's in agreement
That's true.
they are going to
2 name
roll.
changes.
And Rio, that's a great point you make. That game between the Bears and the Commanders in Week 8 flex to the 4 p.m. window. That is gonna be a show. I got a feeling Jaden Daniels puts on a show this upcoming weekend against the Panthers. Speaking of a show, you know who's going to want to put up a show this upcoming weekend? That's Saquon Barkley as he heads back to MetLife for a homecoming as the Eagles get set to take on the New York Giants in an interdivisional matchup this upcoming Sunday at 1 p.m. over on BetUS right now. The line is currently -3 Philadelphia. They're a 3-point
Keeping it close, baby.
road favorite against these New York Giants. Eagles coming off a narrow victory over the Browns. Giants coming off that disappointing loss to the Bengals where the defense really balled out, but the offense couldn't find their footing. They'll look to re-find it this upcoming weekend. So with that said, big game on the line here in terms of the seeding because it's still anybody's ball game in the NFC East. Should the Eagles lose, they'll fall to 500. The Giants would be just a game behind. So big game here. Jay Tuck, I'll start with you. Who gets it done between these bitter rivals, the Eagles or the Giants?
Like we spoke about, man, the Giants are a scrappy team, especially their defense. And the Eagles are kind of dysfunctional right now, but they're healthy. And I feel like the Eagles will win this game in Saquon's big revenge game versus the New York Giants. And I also will take Jalen Hurts over Daniel Jones. But it's going to be a close matchup. So -3, which sounds crazy. It sounds like kind of a fair odds because I feel like with Malik Neighbors' return, and we know how the Eagles secondary is, like he's a guy that can definitely change the course of the game. But overall, I think the Eagles are going to get back to their ground game, get Saquon involved. You're going to see Jalen Hurts use his legs a little bit more, get back to that tush push that they're used to, and have a big game from Smitty and A.J. Brown. So I got the Eagles winning this game. If I had to gauge it, I would say 24-17 Philadelphia.
Rio, I know you hate picking any NFC East team to win that's not your Commander.
Right.
So barring a tie here, you got to
it can get canceled. I'll be all right, perfectly fine with that.
No doubt about it. You boys wouldn't hate that at all. Rio, unless you got a tie here, you got to pick one. So who takes it here, Eagles or Giants?
I'm going with the Giants because I need it. I need it on Sunday. I need everybody within 2 games back from us as we go into it next week. I need us sitting at the top of the division with 5 wins and a bunch of 3-win teams beneath us, just looking at them like peasants. I think unless the Eagles show us who they were prior to that downfall last season, it's going to be an ugly, muck it up ball game. And the Giants are capable of winning that type of game. Malik Neighbors is playing, correct?
Yep. He should be. He should be. I don't know if he's officially clear from concussion, but 3 weeks on concussion protocol is ridiculous.
Man,
right?
he should be good to go. That boy done went to music festivals and concerts.
He went to a Travis Scott concert. You know, so that's the worst thing we have right
He's
here.
like, it's okay. I got the sunglasses on. It's all right.
I should have a Travis Scott concert one time.
Oh man, I need to see some Malik Neighbors versus Quinyon Mitchell too. I think that's good for all football fans. That's going to be fun to look at. The Eagles should beat the Giants. They're a much better football team. They actually have a quarterback. The Giants do not, but the Giants defense is going to make them work for it, just like the Browns did last week. And I think the Giants are capable in a close game. They almost did it versus Washington. They almost did it versus Dallas. They got to get somebody at some point. And I need them to get somebody before we see it again week 9. So I'm going to take the Giants to come away with this one 20-17 because it feels like other than us, getting to 21 feels impossible for the rest of the division right now. I can't speak on that. We average 29.8 points a game. I can't relate right now, but scoring 21 is a daunting task for the other 3 teams in the division. Give me a big Malik Neighbors day and a Giants defensive touchdown that catapults them over top the Eagles. And boy, does Nick Sirianni's seat start heating up.
Man, well, good thing he shaved his head. He won't be sweating if it starts.
Right.
Battle of KB and Al, and I'll start with Al here since he's coming off the W and he's ahead in the division. Al, what happens in this game between your Eagles and the Giants?
I think it's going to be a fight, especially in the beginning. But I think there's some things we're going to switch up. If the Giants let us start fast, I know we haven't scored the point in the first quarter and since last year.
Jesus.
If they let us start fast, it can get bad because I think AJ Brown and Devontae Smith could get y'all corners. So we just got to get the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands fast because our left tackle is going to be out and Brian Burns is going to be on that side. I think it's the same thing for y'all. I think y'all left tackle out too. So
Unfortunately, yeah, Andrew
What
Thomas is
is-
out.
yep. So I think 24-10 scoring 24 against that Giants defense will be enough to win.
KB, what are your thoughts?
Well, I will say that again, if the Eagles score 24 points, they'll be the first team to score over 21 on the Giants defense this year. So that's a tough task for a team that gave it all they had versus the Browns and put up 20 points. So I mean, I'd be willing to bet that doesn't happen. But I think the real question is, can the Giants be competent on offense? With Malik Neighbors coming back, I really think they can. They've shown and proved already that they could be capable of putting up points without him against Seattle. I don't know what the hell happened against the Bengals. I don't know if they overlooked them. I don't know if that Lou Anarumo's defense is just a little bit confusing if you watch it on tape, and maybe it just messed with Daniel Jones's head a little bit. I think this would be a little bit of an easier defense to go against. It's very similar to what the Giants do. We're just doing it better. The Vic Fangio style defense, and Vic Fangio is their defensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think this will be a close one. I'm gonna say it. I think the Giants are going to win this one. I think this will be the first time that the Giants get a legitimate win against either the Eagles or Cowboys. Commanders, we're going to get our get back versus you guys. But
No,
we
Bless your heart,
we are going to be turning the tide here. We're going to finally beat the Eagles here. We're going to take advantage, and we're gonna show this team, we're gonna show that Eagles team that you should have beat the Browns by a higher margin. We're gonna go ahead and teach you guys a lesson, and we're gonna get back on track against the Eagles here at home. So I'm gonna take the Giants to win this game. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a close one. I'm gonna say 23-17.
There you have it, folks. The Week 7 picks are locked in. Can't wait for next week when we recap them all, and you're going to want to tune into that one as well. So to make sure you do, hit the like button on your way out and hit the subscribe button. That way you're notified of all upcoming episodes. Also on your way out the door, you can get in on the action for all these games on BetUS using the promo code YouTube150. That'll get you a 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next two deposits after that. For KB, J Tuck, Al, and Rio, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much for tuning in to the NFC East Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Let's go.